Welcome everybody to Pay It Forward Friday Live. I'm your host, Keith Stelter, trying to bring, a little bit of giving back to LinkedIn that has been so great to me. Any of you, if you've just recently connected with me or you've been connected with me for quite a while, Pay It Forward Friday is something I started to give back to other job seekers, which I was so fortunate to receive along the way in my journey to find a job after losing it in 2020 for COVID-19. I took to LinkedIn to, market myself, and a lot of the posts were garnered to showing people different skills I had and basically things, that weren't just on my resume, stories from my past, from management, different scenarios, you know, basically trying to, sell myself. I didn't want to wait for the phone to ring and you know, give myself the best shot at finding a job. And LinkedIn really worked. And along the way, I got some great help. And one of the people that basically reached out and did a lot for me was a guy named David Gibson. And he had a show, The Beat or Locksmith. I'm still hoping he'll broadcast that. We're in his time slot about now, I think. But he approached me and he's like, "Hey Keith, I like what you're doing, and I'd like to help you out and raise your profile a little bit. So why don't you come on my show and we'll have a little segment called A Minute with Keith." So basically, in addition to all the stuff I was doing on LinkedIn, I would go on David's show and do an elevator pitch of myself for 1 minute. And you're thinking to yourself, what can you really do with 1 minute? Well, if you get creative enough and you really want to sell yourself, when you get in front of someone, they basically make their opinion of you in basically the first minute. So you got to come off across genuine, positive, and try and use your time accordingly and efficiently. And so David hasn't been on for a while, and I've been doing Pay It Forward Friday as basically just a post, take one person, upload their profile, and try and create a little bit of extra, get a few eyes on it, because all it takes is one view of the right person who might know the person that's hiring to get, a job seeker that job, that opportunity, that interview that they're looking for. So doing a few of the live shows here lately, I thought, why not try and give a few other people, some job seekers, the same opportunity? And that's basically where we're at today. Now I'm looking in the background to see if we got everybody I'm looking for here. David, look at this guy. Lies. The guy's such a humble, great guy that won't even take a compliment. Thank you for all you've done, David. You've been such a great guy. Hopefully I do this justice to everybody out there that doesn't know. We've been working together a couple last little live streams, and I haven't had to hit the buttons on StreamYard here. So I'm going to be fumbling my way, looking at the comments, trying to do this justice for these great people that have decided to take a few minutes of their time and give a chance and try and sell themselves, get the attention that they need. So without any further ado, I am coming from, a very special place today, which, is fitting with what, this broadcast was about. It's about getting jobs, right? And all the LinkedIn, all the live work I did led to a great group of people noticing me on LinkedIn. Jason Arsenault, Mikey Mahoney at Arc Energy, Adam Ross, and I find myself in a special location today. I'm actually coming live from our manufacturing facility up in Elk City, Oklahoma. Great bunch of guys up here going to be doing some axe throwing later. It's should be a pretty interesting day. Live streaming, talking to some great people. After the job seekers go, and I'm hoping I've invited Amanda Rico to give some feedback, which I know she's running a little late today. After them, we got some great people. There's a gentleman who is looking for a different kind of job. He's going to be speaking after them. And then we're going to finish up with a great guy who basically has been working around the Permian as well. So without any further ado, I know I've probably, messed up this or that or forgot to mention a certain someone, but as long as I got David on there, uh, it's all good. Special thanks to my wife, actually, who's made sure she's commented and watching right now to let me know that everything's working and that she can hear me. So without further ado, our first gentleman we're going to bring on, Moises. If I haven't brutalized that name, sir, welcome to Pay It Forward Friday Live. How's it going?
Doing great, Keith. Thank you so much for the opportunity and for the visibility for paying it forward.
Hey man, LinkedIn was so good to me. I hope this works. I hope it's a benefit, and thank you so much for taking the time and believing that being a part of this. Is there
Thank you.
You're on LinkedIn, right? So when people see you, you're about to do your little 2 minutes speech here, pitch, however we want to kind of generalize it. What do you want to say? What's your introduction first? Who are you? And then we'll get right into it.
Okay, well, very nice to meet you, LinkedIn community. My name is Moises Nava. Just like Keith mentioned, I'm a senior executive in product management and innovation. I have over 15 years of global experience in product line management and business leadership. And
where are you right now?
Where? I'm sorry?
Yeah. Where are you physically located right now?
I am located in Houston, Texas.
Perfect. Okay. We got the little gist. You ready to do this? I don't have a fancy intro. I should have worked on a little bit of intro on what we have here, but take it away, sir. The floor is all yours.
All right. Thanks, Keith. Let me rephrase it again. Once again, thank you guys for this opportunity. So once again, my name is Moises Nava. I'm a senior executive in product management and innovation. Once again, I have over 15 years of global product management and business leadership experience. I'm absolutely passionate about building and leading product teams to do the best work of their lives. It is my experience and in my career that when you do this successfully through empowering people, through sound strategy and execution, you can actually have teams build products that just simply delight customers and businesses, and businesses are surrounded with product. I've been privileged to do this in my career with Fortune 100 companies in the US, with FTSE 100 companies in the UK. And I've had direct impact on top line revenue into the hundreds of millions of dollars, in bottom line revenue, EBITDA growth into the teens, and market growth. Actually been able to successfully position product lines into the top 3 in the respective markets. How can you help? I am looking and seeking for a senior executive role in product management and innovation, or a business manager role managing a discrete P&L. If you're watching, you're already helping. So thank you for that. But if you want to further help the talented folks that are on this show, including myself, please dig deeper in the profile and connect. You may have a connection that can bring us closer to the right opportunity. Thank you.
That was great, man. Awesome. So, were you nervous? Did it go the way you thought it'd be, or what?
No. Yeah, I think I understand my value, and it's just a great opportunity to connect. Something that I've learned in this job search is just communicating with others, and the more I've done that, the more I just clarify my value, and you do that with other people. So thanks for that. So open to any feedback for sure.
Perfect. Everybody out there, highly encouraged. If you're not already connected, reach out with a LinkedIn connection request. You're going to accept all connection requests, correct?
Absolutely. Perfect. Looking forward to it.
Thank you, sir. Really appreciate your time, and can't wait to see what the future holds for you.
I'll share with you the results.
Thank you, sir. Have a great Friday.
You too. Have a great Friday.
Well, we got the first one out of the way. I was hoping to get a little bit of feedback here from counterparts. Let everybody know how they did out there in the comments, where you're watching from. That, helps us know that you're actually paying attention out there, and who's watching, who's paying, really paying attention out there. Did I just say that twice just to see if you mentioned it in the comments? I don't know. Maybe I'm just nervous. Our next presenter.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going well, Keith. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm was so thankful that I'm here in Elk City that the internet was working great. I had a nice little comment here from Mr. JP Warren. The Elk City internet is on fire. Yes, it is. I'm so glad it was working. These things usually lead to a bunch of technical difficulties that you can't control. Start off with some headphones, but how are you feeling? You nervous?
I feel good. I'm very caffeinated, so I'm a little jittery, but nonetheless, I'm excited.
Excellent. Well, without further ado, I'm not going to stumble over what I did with Moises there. I'm just going to let you take it from here. Feel free. Minute, 2 minutes. We're not running a timer here, but make it count. Everybody's watching.
Awesome. So hi, everyone. My name is Angela Borges. First, I'd like to thank Jay Abiona for introducing me to Keith and for Keith for hosting this. So I'm in the business of helping people just like you with this Pay It Forward, Keith. And what I do is I'm a grant writer. I write grants for nonprofits. So I create capital for nonprofits. So I believe that the heart and soul of a nonprofit organization is its fund development program, because without money, you cannot serve people. There's no successful programs. And without those successful programs, there's not funds to help people that are in need. So what I do is I create money for people. And it's something that I'm very passionate about. I've only had about 3 years of experience in the nonprofit world, but I'm young, I'm a go-getter, and I'm very passionate about what I do. I love to write, and I love to write for people in need. So that's a little bit about me. And you can follow me at Angela L. Borges on LinkedIn. And also, I launched my own grant writing business about 2 months ago. And my business is called Angela Writes. You can also follow that on LinkedIn. So thank you all for coming on and listening to my little spiel. Thank you.
Great job. Perfect. How did it feel?
Again, low jittery. I got too much caffeine in me.
So I don't know. I'm going to look down at my screen here. Amanda, did you by any chance catch all that? Amanda Rico, if you can give me maybe a thumbs up or not for if you think you could give a little bit of feedback on her little presentation on how she did. Let's see. Oh.
Hey, there we go.
Hey, everybody. Amanda Rico.
Hey. How's it going?
Hello.
Awesome. No, great job, Angela. Really great job. I used to do grant writing too. Sounds like we're both English nerds. I think that one of the biggest things when you talk about grant writing is people want to see delivered results, right? They know that you can write. They probably have a good sense of, you being in the nonprofit world. They like to know what nonprofits you've worked with, what types of causes you work with, because there's a big discrepancy between, not discrepancy, but a big difference between something in the nonprofit space where you're talking about working with, let's say, disadvantaged youth, as opposed to healthcare, as opposed to international education, right? So kind of narrowing in on what you do best and what type of sectors that you tend to specialize in is great. Also giving dollar amounts, if possible. The range of money that you have been able to bring in for people is huge, because there's a big difference between saying that I'm a really great, grant writer who's been doing it for 3 years in the nonprofit sector, and phrasing it differently by saying I've generated up to, $15,000 for disadvantaged youth in the Houston area, right? Yeah. See the difference? Like, the impact is demonstrable whenever you give them that kind. It's almost like you're speaking your resume in a way, in ways that people can really latch onto, and they go, "Oh man, I need help." Getting financial support for some of the education systems that I'm doing in Colorado, or something like that. And that's where people want to grab onto you and want to reach out to you is if they see that the meat of the data of what you can bring for them.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah.
but no, great. I mean, you did an awesome job of definitely conveying like your drive and your passion for grant writing. And I think just add some data and be good.
Yeah, in the end, numbers do talk. So
Oh yeah,
you're right.
grant
And I
writing
love your
People
blouse,
love
by the
real
way.
life data.
Yeah, I've been in grant writing for a long time. It's the numbers talk 100%. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you
All right.
so much, Angela,
Well,
for
thank you
coming
for the
on.
feedback.
Hopefully somebody reaches out. You take all LinkedIn connection requests, right?
Of course.
I hope
I
everybody
love new
out there,
friends.
perfect. Reach out, and thank you for so much.
Yes. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
How's it going with you?
Oh man, kids are out of school. Well, I got one kid. You got multiple kids, right? So you
I'm
got
up in Elk City, actually, visiting
Yeah.
our manufacturing facility. So I was nervous about the internet, but for everybody
Yeah.
out there, why don't you give a quick introduction for those who don't know you and why I've invited you to give some feedback.
Oh yeah, for sure. So for those who don't know me, you're probably not in oil and gas. Um, I'm all over. So I'm Amanda Rico, and I specialize in building resumes, cover letters, LinkedIn profiles, primarily for oil, gas, and energy professionals. Chatted with Keith a lot. We've had a lot of conversations. Also with David Gibson, I have a lot of conversations with him, Melanie Woods, all really awesome people who are in the oil and gas space. So, my background is BA and MA from University of Oklahoma, PhD from Texas A&M. And like I told Angela, I'm an English nerd. That's what makes me so good at, writing and basically being able to wordsmith for people like engineers and geoscientists. And
Because we definitely need it.
you guys do. You know what? You do.
Perfect.
You're great at people. You're great people.
Not all of us are. Even myself, I've just maybe learned how to deal a little bit better with lots and lots of practice and guidance from my wife. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, you're in business development, so you got to be good with people, Keith.
Well, I got to be memorable at least.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on to our next presenter. So stay tuned for more from Amanda. And we're going to be bringing on, you ready, Serenity? Give me the thumbs up if you're ready. Serenity, are you nervous?
Yes, I am.
You should be. Definitely. Yeah, this is the end all be all. No, it's not.
This is out of the comfort zone for HR people.
Perfect. And that's what's gonna, separate you from the pack. So without any further ado, I'll get off the screen, do your introduction, and away you go. And all the best to you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm Serenity Hoover. I want to thank Keith for letting me be a part of this and putting this together for us. I am coming to you from West Texas, beautiful West Texas. I am an experienced HR professional. I have over 15 years in HR. I have a very diverse HR background. I fell into HR by accident many years ago while working in Houston. Since then, I have been in HR in fields as radioactive waste, nuclear, entertainment industry, gaming and casino, racetracks. I have done oil and gas for many, many years, mining, and most recently, the remodeling industry. So I am used to working in environments that are high paced, high turnover. I have worked in all aspects of HR, especially recruiting, have started doing cold call recruiting this past season. So I am open to any positions in the HR field, recruiting field. It's something that I enjoy doing because let's face it, in HR, there is never a dull moment because there's always an employee or manager with a new situation that arises for you to be a part of. So that's my spiel. I'm open to any connections, and thank you all for listening.
Very well done. Are you happy it's over?
Yes.
Perfect. I'm going to bring Amanda on. She's the true expert on feedback here. I'm going to let her do her Amanda thing.
Oh, sure. No, I mean, you did a great job. I mean, you're in HR, right? So you already know the ins and outs of hiring and how this whole process works and things like that. So I really liked how you mentioned all the different sectors you've been in. Really important to mention the sectors because you never know where someone's coming from. Any of those hard skills, any data that you bring to the table.
Okay.
I think that thinking through maybe some of the projects that you've done, if you can give examples, I'm sure that everyone who hears from me today is going to be like, huh, Amanda has a thing for data. And it's because I do. I mean, you as an HR pro, whenever you look at people's resumes or whenever you're, scanning through their content through your ATSs, that you're always looking for things like data, right? Things that set you apart from other people. And the process remains the same whenever you're job seeking too. They want to know what you've done, how you've done it, and what you've overcome to get there.
Okay.
Right. So thinking through challenges, kind of that CAR, that challenge action result type of formatting, even whenever you're doing an elevator pitch for yourself, hey, I remember this one time I dealt with X challenge. It was really tough, and when you start doing that, when you start talking about a challenge you dealt with, people start to connect with you,
Okay.
So going into an interview even and saying, I still remember this time I was dealing with this really tough HR problem. No one else could figure it out. And, I was able to pull a team together and execute, XYZ. And at the end of the day, we ended up with Y, right? So kind of just providing a brief example of how you've done what you've done really well in HR, that just helps pull everything together. So that would be maybe, one more thing that I would say to kind of add to your little spiel, right? Whenever you're chatting with people, is kind of give them a brief snapshot of how you've done something really well so that they can remember you.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's all about being remembered.
It is.
Right?
He knows this, right? He does all these crazy initiatives that he does and all the marketing he does.
Trying to find a way to, walk into a conversation with a stranger and have them remember you, is the number one thing you got to do, because they might not need you today, but then it's like, oh,
that guy.
Yeah, that guy, right? So that's what it's all about. So thank you, Serenity. Thank you, Amanda.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Excellent. So I think things are going well. I don't know. David has commented that they are so far. We have a few people actually watching at least. So life is good. And we're going to keep moving on here. Mr. Kenny Beasley, are you ready? Can you give me a thumbs up if you're ready, if you can hear me? Perfect. Kenny, are you ready?
Ready. Good morning.
Are you nervous?
Nah.
It looks like a beautiful day outside. Man,
it is.
Your background's a whole lot better looking than my background.
This is I'm at my daughter's house, so I've got quarantined the grandkids inside, and that's their little climbing tree right there. I'm not the weatherman, so I don't know how to do the green screen.
Perfect. Well, are you ready?
I'm ready. Set, go.
You're all okay. The floor is yours, sir. I'm gonna get off the screen, do your introduction, and away you go.
Thanks. Good morning, everybody. I've been in the control valve industry for quite a while, and I've done many different jobs in there, starting from the warehouse all the way up to the management teams. I'm real strong on customer service. I believe in CRM as a way to grow your business without even having to leave the house. We know now we don't have to run into a plant to get people and build relationships. And I actually have a plan that I would love to discuss with someone on how to build their team and their revenue and their business with CRM. Also, I'm a Lean Six Sigma Black Belt. And what I do is I even have worked as a consultant and gone into companies of any type who are or believe they are working at peak performance, and going in and done the diagnosis and observation, say, hey, these are areas that you can tweak in. We can do the lean thing, trim the fat here, and reorganize a few things literally physically sometimes to get products in and out of the door, double check their quality system, their tracking, and then again, coming back to CRM, making sure that the customer did get what they order, which if we've ever seen that little diagram, what the customer wanted, what the engineer made, what sales heard, and what the customer got. Yeah, we need to make sure that people get what they want. And I'm a full all-around cowboy with valves, any type of valve. So that's what I've done for years, and I've actually done a lot of surveys and studies. One company we set in on, I was the lead for the team, and we reclaimed $600,000 in 1 year of unclaimed or unbilled freight, and taking one company from $20,000 a month as a minimum. It was not a startup at that time; it had been running for a while, and taking it over the course of a year to making 250. Now, small company, but the math is phenomenal when you apply what you can apply, and just do research and find out if the money's being spent right, placed right. So I can cover a lot of ground for somebody in different ways.
Well, covering a lot of ground, that's what a lot of people need these days. I'm thinking. So, man, great job. Appreciate you coming on. How do you feel? Were you nervous? It went well?
No.
What you wanted?
No, yeah, this was great. This was great. I really appreciate you inviting me on and being able to get out there and do this without stumbling.
Perfect. You got
life. We can't stumble in life. We have to get back up and go.
Yes, sir. The only way forward is forward. You know,
That's
upwards, not downwards. Perfect. Amanda, take it away.
So Kenny, I honestly wouldn't change anything you did.
Cool.
You, I could tell you were comfortable. You really highlighted a lot of exactly what you do in control valve.
Well, going number 3 helps.
Yeah.
After listening to you.
Oh, good. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so you built in examples. You talked about how you would, not just that you're great at executing CRM, basically implementations and deployments, but how you would do it, right? How you would do it through, leading teams. You talked about numbers, right? Being able to deliver numbers for companies, talking about the entire process of building the team, implementing the CRM for the customer, right? The end user. So you took that full life cycle and you really showed how you can do that well. And I think that was a huge strength for your talk, was that you're very personable. You come across as someone who'd be very, a great mentor, very teachable, really great balance. So, I would hire you. I mean, if I did control valves.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Keep me in mind, and I'll connect with you. I don't think we're connected on LinkedIn. I'll connect with you and go from there.
Yeah. And tell me what type of role you're shooting for.
Something either in the continuous improvement or a branch manager of, it doesn't have to be valves. I've worked at, I've done a little bit of other stuff, something industrial, just something to lead a team, either the operations or the sales team. I'm kind of bi-vocational.
Right. Awesome. So that's definitely something good to mention too, right? Whenever you're doing kind of an intro, is letting people know, because they'll be able to assess if they're in oil and gas, they probably know what you're talking about. But if you run into people who are outside of oil and gas, or maybe don't do specifically the type of work you do, they're going to hear what you have to say and they're going to be impressed by your content, but they're still not going to know the beginning point, right? They're not going to know what you're shooting for, which is the goal, right? Which is what you're trying to land. So I think, kind of have that set up, and then everything else is perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All righty.
Well, thank you very much, Kenny. I hope you found this as a benefit. Appreciate your time. Thank you once again, Amanda. You did great, sir. Perfect. We have one more presenter. I had planned a couple other people, but I see that they're being a no-show. Something must have came up. Not sure, but are almost, maybe, could be the last presenter. Give me the thumbs up, Angelica, if you're ready to go. Perfect. Are you ready for this?
Yes, I think so.
Are you nervous?
A little bit, yeah. Like
Perfect. You wouldn't be in your, it wouldn't be exciting if it wasn't a little bit nerve-wracking. So The floor is yours. Take it away.
Thank you, Keith. So hello, everyone. My name is Angelica Bautista. I'm originally from Colombia. I'm a petroleum engineer, graduated in 2018. And I started my career as a field engineer with Halliburton in the stimulation and fracking services. So I get a lot of training, hands-on training, outside with the guys, learning a lot with the people outside, and about the equipment, and also in the lab about the fluids, and alongside with my colleagues to know and to learn more about the field in general, because I'm a young professional. And then I get to be here in Oklahoma to have my training on fracking, and it was very great for me because in Colombia, we mainly do stimulation, so get to know that it was very awesome. And when I get back, I took more leading roles, and I led 15 stimulation jobs, successful stimulation jobs, and different regions of Colombia with clients like Ecopetrol and Gran Tierra. And as an engineer in Colombia, like, we pretty much do everything. So I was in the beginning talking with the client and the proposals to know what they need, to the logistics of the equipment and fluids, and then being on the field and doing some real-time data analysis alongside with the client, and then doing my post-job report and final analysis. So it was a very great experience for me, like leadership, teamwork. And then COVID hit in 2020, and I got laid off. But that gave me the opportunity to be here. So I'm new here in Houston. I'm now in Houston about a year ago, and I'm just looking the opportunity, the best opportunity. Now I have all my immigration process settled, and I'm back in the market, looking the great fit. And I'm just being networking, trying to know more about the industry here. And I've known like a lot of great people, so I really appreciate this opportunity, kids. So thank you, everyone watching, and just connect with me if you're interested. And I'm just open to have more connections. So thank you again.
LinkedIn is all about connecting. Biggest regret I have, the start of my career was not going to any of the networking events and just focused on operations. And it was a big mistake on my part. So the sooner you can start it, the better. So without further ado, Amanda, what did she do right, and what did she do? What can she improve?
No, great job, Angelica. Yeah. So thinking through your target, are you trying to target a petroleum engineering role? Is it very broad in terms of petroleum engineering, or something more specific?
Yes, I'm just open for the opportunities, like in the field or in the office, like more engineering things, like designing. I'm just open for that kind of opportunity. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So one of the things to think through as you're job seeking is that there may be some jobs, of course, that are going to pop up. They're going to be very broad petroleum engineering roles that you'll be able to apply for, especially here in Houston, right? Because this is the hub.
Yes.
But if you have a specialization, like let's say that you're really good at production operations or completions or drilling, right? If you specialize in any of those specific types of part of the E&P value chain, really hone in on those specializations, because that's going to help you get more traction than just a very broad petroleum engineering focus with doing field work. Okay. Because I could see an opportunity coming up, let's say in Schlumberger for a field engineering role, which is usually where they start people, right? In Schlumberger. But the thing is, what worries me is that it sounds like you already have a little bit of experience, right? How many years of experience do you have?
2 years.
2 years. Okay. So still pretty fresh.
Yes.
But what was your previous title?
It was a field engineer at Stimulation and Fracture.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So were you more on simulation and fracturing? So tell me the specific type of specialization that you had. Would you place yourself more in completions?
No, it was like the post production. So we just, like for stimulation services, it's more like production enhancement. That was the product life of Halliburton.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. So thinking through that, right, that you would actually be someone who could fit into that production space.
Okay.
It's a really good idea to think through how you'd be able to market yourself specifically for production optimization or production operations type roles, right? Because now that you have this experience that you can leverage, you don't only have the opportunity to apply for some more broad-based roles just in petroleum engineering. Now you can actually leverage that experience to apply for production operations entry-level type roles. So be thinking through how you structure your resume so that you can highlight those specifics. And if you have experience in, different types of basins or formations,
Yes.
when you've been in the field, those are really, really great hard skills to mention, because a lot of operators, they really hit it hard in specific basins. They want to know if you have experience in the Permian or Eagle Ford or Haynesville, or they want to know
Yeah.
the nitty-gritty of what types of formations you've been in. So having all of those hard skills mentioned, especially near the top of your resume or your LinkedIn, is going to be a really great way to get traction. So I think I understand why you're thinking broad.
Yeah.
But be careful about trying to be too broad,
Okay.
right? Kind of go from here
Yes.
to here.
Okay.
So that then you look more.
Specialty always wins the day.
It can, and there are some situations where, let's say someone does, deep water or subsea work, then you're very niche, right? And then that can actually be something that you want to be careful about and can actually hold you back. But I think since you're still so fresh, it would actually keep you, it would make you be more marketable if you can highlight some of the more specifics of where you'd fit in that E&P value chain, so people can see that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Amanda.
Sure.
Thank you, Keith, again.
You did great. Thanks for coming on and giving it a shot. How do you feel now? You feel like a weight is lifted?
Yes, really been happy. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Appreciate it again, Amanda.
Sure.
So, working our way as of right now, that is all the presenters I have for job seeking right now. Now, this next gentleman I have coming on, if you'll give me the thumbs up, is a guy seeking a different kind of job, I think. And maybe that's the way he actually, when I invited him on the show, that's the way he framed it. And I'm like, man, that's the best way. I didn't really think about it that way. Without any further ado, Mr. Kevin Sparks. Sir, thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate your time. How have you checked out any of the job seekers? What do you think?
No, I think this is a great forum. It's number one, it's great to have the opportunity to promote yourself. It's also nice it's a great opportunity for folks to take a look, especially if they're looking for different job skills from people. I think it's a great idea, Keith, and I appreciate the opportunity to come on today as well.
Well, sir, it was great meeting you. We only have recently met at the Permian Basin International Oil Show, and you came on, and this is actually your second live stream you're doing with me, so hopefully it goes as good. I thought the first one was great, and I had a great time speaking to you. So
I enjoyed it as well.
Let the people out there watching, first probably who you are and, what you got going on right now.
Sure. Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity. So my name's Kevin Sparks. Currently the president of an oil and gas company in Midland, Texas, but I am now running for State Senate District 31, which stretches from El Dorado, Texas to the top of the Panhandle and from Monahans to Colorado City. I'm running for Senate in a nutshell to keep Texas, Texas. So I want to touch briefly on four quick issues: parental rights, the border, property taxes, and our oil and gas industry. So first, parental rights. Parents have the right, I believe, and really the obligation to know and have a say in what their kids are being taught in public schools. Our critical race propaganda that's crept into our school systems has no right, no place. It's not history. It's propaganda. Its only purpose is to create division. Number two, I'd say the border. Our federal government has shirked its responsibility to protect its citizens, and I believe that it's incumbent upon Texas to take immediate steps to keep unlawful entry into our state. And the third thing is property taxes. Our property taxes have been going up for over 20 years, and they're quickly outpacing the taxpayers' ability to keep up. We've got to modify our taxing structure because the path that we are on is unsustainable for taxpayers. And fourthly, oil and gas, which I'm very familiar with. I started out in the field. As I said earlier, I'm now the president of an independent oil and gas company in Midland. Our industry is under attack. I would say extreme attack. Currently in the Texas Senate, there's not a single senator that has any oil and gas experience. When you look at the fact that our industry represents more than 35% of the state's economy, seems to me that it would only be prudent to have somebody in the Senate as they're debating issues that affect our whole state that can talk intelligently about the oil and gas industry. In short, we need people elected patriots, I would say, elected to our state legislature with good business skills to help solve the state's challenges so that we can provide communities that will give an environment for all Texans to flourish. I'm Kevin Sparks. I'm asking for your support. I would encourage you to go to my website, kevinsparksfortexas.com. Thank you.
Awesome job, Kevin. So this was, once again about job seekers and people, who haven't worked for a while looking for an opportunity. If you get in the, Texas Senate, what, focusing on that issue, what do you hope to bring back to Texas, keep it in Texas, or, how, to help the job seekers here in Texas, basically?
Sure. Well, I would say this. I think we had an excellent example of what good business skills can bring to government with our last president. We saw how he took our economy and made it the strongest in my lifetime. And it's strong economies that create opportunities for employment. And, I think having been in business for over 35 years now, I intend to take those business skills to our Texas Senate. And with that, create environments that help businesses flourish, which in turn create more opportunities for individuals.
If there was one small specific change you can make today, what would it be?
I think it would be the taxing structure, because taxes hurt. They hurt not only the individuals, but it also hurts the business environment. We're going to create more opportunity to encourage business here in Texas if we restructure our tax system.
Perfect. It sounds like you're pretty committed to all this. And, just hearing that there isn't anybody in oil and gas in the Texas Senate, man, I find that very surprising myself. So all the best to you, sir. I really appreciate your time coming to check out this little event and speaking.
Thank you, Keith. I appreciate you having me on.
Man, it was great having you, sir. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
This is moving right along here. We got people running for Texas Senate, job seekers. I wonder if we have any surprise guests showing up that might be a last minute addition, since it seems like a couple of my other speakers can't make it. I'm wondering, looking back, giving this particular individual a moment to give me some feedback, tell me what he's got going on here, why he maybe hasn't been all over the internet. Mr. David Gibson, how the heck are you, sir?
I'm doing just fine. Yourself, Keith?
Man, that beard, it's a little bit smaller than the last time I saw you. What's going on?
I've been working on a project.
Oh, did you have to lose the beard to do a fit test?
Potentially, yes.
Oh, I see. Very, very, very interesting, sir.
I videoed me, at least the first part of me shaving the beard off, but I haven't posted anything online because it was kind of a project I'm working on. So I'm trying to. There's some obvious things out there that that go along with being on LinkedIn and doing stuff at the same time. We were trying to make progress with a new startup company, and you need to be able to keep things somewhat hidden. Cat's a little bit more out of the bag here recently, but
things are going in the right direction then.
Things are doing very, very well for me right now.
Well, perfect, sir. So, Fridays is usually for the Vidor locksmith. Man, hopefully you're not mad that I did this on a Friday. So we're at 10 a.m. and stuff.
It's a great time slot.
It is. So I was happy to take advantage, sir. So what did you catch most of the show? What'd you think?
Yeah, I caught a lot of the show. I think a lot of the people that came on did very well at being able to communicate who they are and what they're trying to be able to accomplish. So that was great to be able to see, and seeing more people take advantage of the platforms that are accessible to them. I would say, you can't get on a live stream every day. Well, some of us can. I mean, if you have your own, but if you can get on somebody else's to be able to raise your profile, it's a great idea to be able to do. It's great practice for being able to talk, essentially to the camera, because that's how a lot of the interviews are taking place now. So I think it's a phenomenal idea for people to do, and give them that chance to build up the courage, then maybe able to start doing some of their own video content and start putting stuff out there to be able to go even further with it. So it's it's definitely something great that you're doing. I applaud it. I think more people out there should be using these kinds of platforms to help out others. So it's great.
I just trying to give back what was, like what was so, to this day, like really, why did, we didn't know each other then. Why did you reach out and ask me to do the Minute with Keith?
It's one of those things to where I feel very, very fortunate in what I've been able to accomplish in my career and as an entrepreneur. And that a lot of what I've been able to accomplish has been because of, essentially, putting myself out there and doing some of these, videos and stuff. And I felt, it would be, it wouldn't be right if I didn't share that, with other people and be able to give them the opportunity to also be able to talk and put themselves out there. And so, I saw you posted something online one day and I was like, man, this guy needs a job. He's putting in the work. So, maybe, you could be because you were the second one to be able to fill that spot. The first one was an intern that was working for me. And so I had him doing it. And then he ended up, getting a job, getting full-time employment. And so his employer told him he was flat out wasn't allowed to contribute anymore. So we needed somebody to be able to fill that slot again. And there you were. And then Andrea took over after you, and Andrea has since gotten a job. And whenever I finally decide to be able to get back into this mix and doing the show again, we'll most likely have somebody else every week come on and do a little piece or mix it up. I don't know. The new show format will be completely different, I think. Or not completely different, but it'll have some new little tweaks in there. So, but yeah, as far as getting you to come on, it was just, it felt like the right thing to do.
And that's kind of why I wanted to do today's little event, to see if I could try and, pay forward, a little bit of the kindness that you showed me. So once again, sir, thank you very much. We'll wrap up with that, all that kindness and good cheer right there.
Is Amanda still here? I got to say hi to her.
Well, let's bring Amanda on. Hey. At this point.
How's it going?
See if I can get my big head. There we go.
I know.
I gotta
Perfect. It's like old times. When was the last time we did this? Was like 4 or 5 months ago?
Well, I saw you guys at F5.
Uh-oh. Andrea's watching and she's telling me I still owe her a drill bit.
Uh-oh.
Dang.
That's where you are now.
She does really good at calling me out. I'm just going to say it. When she was on the show, she was literally the boss of the show. She'd be sending me messages like, don't forget this, do this, don't forget about this, you need to do this. It's like, oh my, if she was the time period that she was on the show. You're going to let him
get away with that, Andrea? Okay.
I mean, she was.
So everybody for all you've done and contributed. It is time to wrap up the show. Thank you, David. I appreciate everybody who's tuned in. Thank you so much. Hopefully you can pass this along, that you've seen it, tagged it, connect with the people that you saw today. If you have trouble finding any of them, reach out to myself and I will get you hooked up to everybody. And have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everybody. Have a great Friday.